Let's combine positive and negative terms, and now we're going to use our sign rules based on different and same sign process. Problem number 3. Step 1. Determine which process to use. We have a positive 10 and a negative 25, and these two are different signs. So we know which process to use. We're going to use the different signs process. How did we determine which process to use? We determined the process to use by looking at the two signs of the two terms that we are combining. In this case, we had a positive 10 and a negative 25, so we know that we're using the different sign process. Step 2, combine the terms. To combine the terms, let's follow the process. So we need to subtract the two values, and then we're going to keep the sign of the greatest. So taking a look at these two terms, easiest thing for me to tell right away is that my 25 is my greatest value between 10 and 25. Not looking at the positive or negative, just looking at the number itself. 25 is a bigger number. So I know that my final answer, if I'm going to keep the greatest sign, my final answer is going to be a negative number. Now I just need to subtract 25 minus 10 to figure out what number that will be after the negative sign. 25 minus 10 equals 15, and it's a keep the sign of the greater, so that's going to be a negative, and our final value after combining a positive 10 and a negative 25 is negative 15. How did we combine the terms? We combined the terms by subtracting the two values of 10 and 25. 25 minus 10 equals 15. And then we kept the sign of the greatest number, which was our negative 25, making this a value of negative 15. Problem 3b. Determine which process to use. On this problem, I have a negative 20 combining with a positive 30. So for 3b, we will once again use different signs for our process. Step 2. Combine the terms. The different signs process tells us to subtract and keep the greatest sign. So of these two values, 30 is the greater value, so we know that our final answer will be a positive number, and now we just need to subtract 20 from 30 to figure out the final value. 30 minus 20 equals 10, and we're going to keep it positive because 30 was bigger than 20, so the positive sign will go to the answer of the subtraction, meaning that negative 20 and positive 30 combine to a positive 10. 3c. Step 1. Determine which process to use. Negative 10n minus 10n. We have the same variable on both of these numbers, so we are combining like terms. Now our coefficients are both negative numbers. I have a negative 10n and another negative 10n being combined. So now we are going to use the same sign rules. Step 2, combine the terms. So we need to add the two values, 10 and 10. 10 plus 10 equals 20. And we are going to keep the sign, which is negative. And let's not forget that we're combining like terms here, so we're also going to keep the variable. Negative 10n minus 10n combines to negative 20n. For step 2 on problem 3c, how did we combine the terms? For step 2 on 3c, we had two terms that had the same sign, so we added the two values 10 and 10, and we kept the sign, which was negative, to have a negative 20n, remembering here that we are combining like terms, which we can do when we have the same variable, and we combine the coefficients. You are now ready to do the problems 4a through 4c.